स्टार्ट करूंगी। Namaskar. I'm Kumar Rakesh and you're watching Global Governance News TV. Today we're going to discuss the Indian Council of Historical Research, the new poster controversy, Savarkar versus Nehru. And we know the last 2 days that raised started a digital poster, first released by the Indian Council of Historical Research as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, celebration to mark the 75th anniversary of India's independence. Aside from the hideous aesthetics of the culture, cluttered and the badly designed poster, watch the claim by the Congress, which featured two logos, one of the Mahotsav and other making the 50 years of ICHR, and discolored map of India, as they claims, as also the two spellings of word Azadi and 8 portraits of the architects of India's independence were shown. Why 8? That's also a matter of question. Starting from Mahatma Gandhi on the top, circle went clockwise. Also the poster, Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Dr. Ambedkar, V.D. Savarkar, Bhagat Singh, and Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya, Sardar Patel, Dr. Rajendra Prasad. If we remember, the Veer Savarkar, Madan Mohan Malviya, and Subhash Bose have not seen last 50, 60 years any poster of the Congress-ruled government. Sardar Patel, Dr. Rajendra Prasad also not. The omission of Jawaharlal Nehru, the preeminent voice, as they claim, India's freedom. But that is the truth. India's first Prime Minister was so glaring, and they raised the question, Congress leaders, how could you write the history and independent history of India without Nehru? So we can understand how much contribution of Jawaharlal Nehru for the country like India, whatever they claim the modern India and whatever the old India. So we'll discuss on this point. And the Gandhiji advocates the violence to Hindutva opinion, how Gandhiji was just a Hindu and just claimed to be himself sometimes Hindu, but always try to distort all theories of Hindus. And adding Nehru and principal Muslim nationalist leader Maulana Azad, history, all I know, how they converted the name also, what is the original name. So many things. And on this issue, Congress has issued after that making the controversy, ICHR, just give the clarification. Don't worry, we'll next poster, we'll put the pics of Nehruji. Don't worry. Calm down. Don't worry. So, but we can understand why and what for they make the controversy. Is it just should be or not to be? So we'll discuss on this issue today with our Alok Lahad from Spain, senior journalist, research scholar, and just keeping on the list. Also, he has a background of the Jawaharlal Nehru University also, and with political analyst Anita Choudhary, and later our guest will join. So we start from the Alok Lahad. How just you analyze this type of controversy from the Congress? Do you think this makes any sense? Unmute yourself, Alok. Unmute yourself, please.
Today morning when we're discussing this, I mean, frankly, there's nothing, no harm in asking you. I said, what is this about?
Welcome, Vandana ji, also from Chicago.
Yeah. So I asked you this question, what is this about? And then you sent me the information. I mean, this is so irrelevant that, like it shows the bankruptcy where our opposition has come to. They don't have any issues. They don't have any real issues because the government is doing a fantastic job. So they don't know where to catch them. They try to bring up fake issues and or non-issues they want to make it into an issue, so
Yeah.
they are politically relevant. Otherwise, even their own media, because if you have a look at the media in India, it is mainly, if you search into who owns this media or who owns the Indian media, you will be surprised to know that more than 75% of the media is owned by somehow people who were related to the opposition party. I'm talking about the main opposition party because we don't have an opposition party, so to say. So it has become so irrelevant. Now the question is, why did they do something like this? Because anywhere and everywhere we go, we either have a Gandhi Maidan or we have a Nehru Park or we have something related to the royal family. Now the question is, why has been Nehruji's picture omitted there? So there is some mischief into it. There is no doubt about it. I mean, it could have nobody could have thought. But then I was analyzing the people who have been shown there, and I think they have got you know something of their own taste. This is what they have been doing all this time. In last 75 years, the relevance in history. It is not that that independence India got its independence because Gandhiji was there or Nehruji was there. There were thousands and thousands of people who gave their lives and they are nowhere. And there were people who were relevant in the Indian history, but their place in the history was removed, and it was systematically removed, and it was purposely removed. So now they have got the taste of their own, methodology. Let's say if you want to make it into Nehru versus Veer Savarkar, that is one thing. But I think what importance has we given in the written history and the rewritten history and the history written by uh, you know the historians who were commissioned by Jawaharlal Nehru and later on the other Mrs. Gandhi and the company.
Irfan Habib was just a chairperson, member of the ICHR, and distorted so
No, we
many
can
times.
we can start off with ancient history, and we can talk about Romila Thapar, who have been
Yeah,
somehow related to the royal family also.
yeah.
So the question is that the history, they purposely omitted certain people because they were scared that their shadow could overshadow. But now we are talking about two different things. If we see the whole circle of 8 people who are there, Subhash Chandra Bose, he has been underplayed in the Indian history. If we talk about Baba Sahib Ambedkar, he has been underplayed in the history. If we talk about Sardar Patel, he has been underplayed. Thankfully, Bhagat Singh has been converted into a legend because of Bollywood and all the nationalist type of storytellers that we have here. You just think of it, anybody or everybody, of example, the freedom fighters of the South India, they have also been underplayed. So there are certain families who have been overplayed, and there are people who have been underplayed. So now just imagine how they are suffering because Nehruji is not there in one poster. He's everywhere. I mean, you think of it, he's there. And in one poster which is made, he is not there. See how they are feeling about this. Now imagine the families of the freedom fighters who had laid their lives and who got nothing in return because they were real freedom fighters and they were leaders, but they were not politicians. Just tell me, of the all 8 people who are present there, how many of their kins and sons are into power today? Not a single one. So, what is common between all these 8 people who are there on the poster is because they fought for the nation, they fought for the independence, they gave up their lives for India, but they did not earn anything for their family. That is what is common between all those 8 people who have been posted there. So, did Nehru did a great job? That's a different story. Or he did not do. He
Yeah,
did
yeah,
blunders in history. That's another chapter. But isn't this true that systematically the work of these great people, great freedom fighters, they only 8 there. There should be thousands in the background who are, nobody knows about them, nobody talks about them. But then there are a few people, we talk too much about them. So now feel that pain which the families of all these freedom fighters have been feeling for 70 years. Pandit, Pandit Nehru is not on this poster, and from top to bottom in Congress, everybody is feeling the pain. Did they feel the pain of all the other freedom fighters who gave up their lives and they got nothing in return? Not even name? So I think if somebody has done it on purpose, he's done it very nicely. They have given them the taste of their own making, and they are feeling the pain.
Okay. So Anita ji, just Alok ji said, just here, whatever that done by the ICHR, whoever concerned, to whom it may concern, they had did the good job. But I don't know why they just just rebook like that. Just no, okay, I'll put don't worry, I'll put the in the next poster. I'll put the pics of Nehru ji. Please calm down.
Actually, it was not the matter of controversy. I don't know why Congress has raised this issue, and it has backfired to them only. Because I think nowadays the command of Congress is in a very immature hands. So they are not able to understand the depth of anything or relevant of anything. If we are going through this poster, this was the poster, I think. If I will enlarge it, it's a phone,
No,
so
no,
I cannot show
okay.
you. Uh, so
We have poster.
in this poster, only freedom fighters are there who has contributed their life for Mother India to make her free. And Rajendra Prasad Babu is there, Gandhi ji is there, Subhash Chandra Bose is there, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel is there, Bhagat Singh is there, and Savarkar is also there. So I think why they have not compared Nehru with others? Why not? Why Sardar Vallabhbhai is there, and why not Nehru is there? On that time when Nehru was the PM, Sardar Vallabhbhai was the Home Minister. So why you have given so much of importance to this Home Minister? Why you have not given importance to Nehru ji? So question should be like this, na? But they have raised the issue and compared with Savarkar only. So they want that yes, Abel mujhe maar. So this and this is because the Rahul Baba is commanding everything and he has not depth of India. He don't know the versatile expense of India, the versatile thoughts of India, and what was the freedom fight actually on that time. So Nehru ji was with Gandhi ji, but he has not contributed. Tell me what kind of movement he has run during the our Azad Bharat ki ladai. What was his moving on that time? Nothing. He was just with Gandhiji and doing all the chamchagiri of Gandhi, and then become a Prime Minister of India and divided India in two parts on the name of the religion. And now that religion who has demanded another country, he is now the resident of India, and we are suffering for all the mistakes of Nehru, whatever he has done, we are suffering till date. So Congress has to get mature. They have to do the mature politics. Tell me, why can you compare Savarkar with Nehruji? What Nehruji has done for this country, and whatever he has done, I just want to tell you one line. Whatever Nehru has done for this country, there was a vested interest behind that. Yes, I will be the chief of this country. I will be the prime minister of this country. I will run this country. My family will lead this country. And what was the motto of Savarkar? He was, there was a no, there, he was, he has tolerated all the torture by Britishers just because of the country. He has never demanded that I will be the prime minister. I want some post. I want something. I am doing this because of this. I am doing this.
Anita ji, matter of sacrifice. Who sacrificed more for the country rather than the Nehru. Vandana ji, just Anita ji just saying that how can he compare the sacrifices for the country, selfless sacrifices like that? And if there is any comparison between the Bir Savarkar and Pandit Nehru on the point of the selfless sacrifices.
Namaskar and good evening to everybody. I will start on a very different note. About this poster, गलती तो हुआ है. They made a mistake. जो ऊपर महात्मा गांधी का फोटो लगाया है ना, उसकी जगह राहुल गांधी का फोटो लगा देना चाहिए था. That would have been कांग्रेस तरफ से गांधी तो है नहीं वो. He is a Gandhi. तो
Sorry, Vandana ji. Sorry.
No, listen to this, what I'm saying.
It should not be the satire also in the name of the just our leaders.
No, because he is using the name Gandhi, what I'm trying to say, because our future generations, then Nehru nahi bhi hota, Congress would not have felt the brunt. That's what I'm saying. Because when Anita ji is saying that this is, the pain is who is leading the opposition. I'm like, when I'm saying how painful I am by saying this, you just understand that. I'm just saying to make an issue of no issue, this has become the problem of this opposition. If it would have been, because they would have said it's the same last name. I'm just saying that, our ancestors, because my future generation, कल को आपके बच्चों के बच्चे जो अभी हुए भी नहीं है, उनका भी नाम लिख देना कि राकेश के आने वाले पर पोते, like, that kind of thing. That is what the mirchi wahan laga hai. Coming back to your question about Savarkar ji and Nehru ji. I mean, people have to see without how much one has contributed to it. There are some people, there are real heroes. There are some people, those are real heroes when we talk about it. So you make someone as an imaginary. For 75 plus years, you are saying like a 14 November, Chacha Nehru, birthday, this and that. What have we seen for over a period of time? It should have been like, okay, Nehru ko 100 number diya, to kam se kam Savarkar ji ko 99 to deo. So that has never happened. We have not even seen anywhere. Now you are seeing where Andaman and Nicobar,
but Vandana ji, I think that's 7-8 years back. There's a resolution and the portrait of Bir Savarkar installed in the parliamentary central hall.
That's what I'm just saying. That we are just getting to know from the last 6 or 7 years. But what about before? There is a generation being lost. You have played with the history.
That's a question. That's a matter of concern also. You are rightly said. So, Rakesh Tiwari ji, how just you see the anger of the Vandana ji? How the Nehru and so-called Gandhi, the Gandhi title always tried to use for the personal gains, not for the country gains. So how do you analyze this small thing? You have name of so many universities and building and airport and more than 500 names in the name of Nehru and Gandhi. What nonsense just you created for the symbol? One in poster is a photo, a picture not there. How the bankrupt is Congress and Chidambaram like the most corrupt leader of the world and just a most likely leader of the Shashi Tharoor saying like that. So, okay, how can you write the history of the aviation without the Wright brothers? What nonsense. They are comparing Wright brothers to the Nehru. And they're just trying to how can you make the film without any hero? Whatever Balidani Bhagat Singh, whatever Asfaqullah, whatever the Ram Prasad Bismil, whatever the Rajguru, whatever, but question that the independence just brought by the only Nehru.
Okay. I think your anger or Vandana ji's anger is well placed on time. I would like to see the poster which I'm seeing. One is the minister's that is not, it seems, recent poster. It seems a different poster.
No, I already play some technical fault. I'm not showing you.
Can you show me? Because I joined a bit late. One was Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, where Savarkar was placed. Are you talking about that poster? Okay, that's the poster. Yes, that's the poster.
Yeah.
So some people have stomachache with that. That why Savarkar is there, if I'm not wrong here. That's the whole question.
But Malvi also first time.
Yes. There's so many, as you mentioned, Nehru is over there, right? If I'm not wrong, here Nehru is there,
No,
right?
Nehru is not there. Then
Nehru is not.
no.
Oh, sorry. I
no.
made mistake. Dr. Rajendra Prasad is there. Vallabhbhai Patel is there.
ICHR,
Madan Malviya is there.
Tiwari,
Nehru
I'm
is
telling you the fact.
Yeah.
ICHR clarified. Okay, when then make the hue and cry. Then
Mhm.
ICHR just clarified. Okay, don't worry. And this is the first poster. In next poster, we'll put your photo. Please keep down just like a child. Okay. Please take ice cream like that.
Okay.
Nonsense.
So,
yeah.
Well, let me come back to it. No, definitely,
Please.
if you have excluded Nehru, you are.
And also raise the photo of the Savarkar. That's why I make the story, the Savarkar versus.
Let me just say that. Let me just say that.
Please.
By excluding Nehru's photo from ICHR's this poster, you have not given this, the julab or stomachache, some pain. You have really punched. So expect the reaction, definitely. And they have some validity
maybe.
They have some validity. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You have excluded, like Nehru was, and that there is a reason behind it. And one, I will say, definitely, that becomes in a question because, yes, we can put everything that, on Nehru's name and Gandhi family, Nehru Gandhi so-called family's name. So many things are there. But they're saying, whoa, come on. He was our prime minister, first prime minister. He was longest serving at that time, 12 years or so. Whatever happened. So for them, it's like you cut off Nehru. It's like you cut the root. So you cut the root, the tree falls. So you have attacked on the root. And that's serious thing for them.
Yeah,
okay, that's serious. That's serious thing for them.
Nehru is the only root. Sorry, I'm just interrupting you. Do you think that Nehru is the only root of this democracy of the country?
I'm just saying for the family for
sure.
Sir, you're getting it wrong. When I'm mentioning the root means the family tree of Congress. I'm talking about it. You cut Nehru. You attack on Nehru. Okay, because there is a Congress before Nehru and after Nehru. You have to consider that. Before Nehru,
so after Sonia and before Sonia, Congress has
no. That's not right. No. I will not go through that comparison. See, if you're looking at the family dynasty of Congress politics, that starts with Nehru. But before it was not, because still Subhash Bose was there too, and there was some kind of democracy. There was Congress was leading, and you cannot cut it off totally that they have not done, are all those people who were there and they were in the framework of Congress and they have done something to be it Vallabhbhai Patel, be it Dr. Rajendra Prasad, even everybody was together because Congress was representing the whole India. Let me come back to this. So excluding, when the moment you are excluding Jawaharlal Nehru, you are excluding the post-Nehru Congress party completely. You're diminishing it. You are attacking on it. So the reactions is expected. So I'm not surprised and shocked with that. Number one.
Okay.
The another part is that, okay, it is questionable that did somebody punch deliberately because it doesn't seem like you have hit. Okay. You have hit. You asked for this provocation too. Okay. Definitely all those deserving, in my understanding, all those deserving means I'll give a piece consolidation here that every year should be bringing other people, not always repeating the same people, because for the freedom of Bharat, freedom of Hindustan, so many named and unnamed people have sacrificed. Their life is not less worth than any Gandhi, any Nehru, anybody, even Bhagat Singh. They have sacrificed. Why not 19-year-old Ram Bose, Prafulla Chaki, okay, Ram Manohar Lohia, Narendra Dev? They all deserved it. They are all sacrificed. Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Alok ji, just how Tiwari ji is just analyzed. You are trying to punch, so they are. If you hit, they already book. Yeah, this is the poster. We are just talking about. So just you can see the poster. Then after they take the question from the Alok ji.
I'm really enjoying this poster.
So this is the poster. You should just see Mahatma Gandhi on top, and Subhash Chandra Bose and Rajendra Prasad, Sardar Patel, B.R. Ambedkar, and just you see the Veer Savarkar, Bhagat Singh, and Madan Mohan Malviya. These are eight the big names, and some are left okay, not necessarily all the put here. So, Alok ji, how just Tiwari is trying to just analyze if you just hit the bull, I think that hit the target, so they'll react like that. So how do you think just there is now I'm coming to the second part. They have also raised the why Savarkar is there and why not other there. So how can you just comparative the Savarkar and as Anita is saying and Nehru, there is any comparison for the sake of the country, for the sacrifices for the country?
Now, what Tiwari is saying is he's very correct there. There is an INC which is pro-Nehru, in the sense like previous to Nehru and then post-Nehru. There are two different INCs. What's the difference? The INC, which starts off, with the Britishers making that club and everything, we know about it. That is a freedom movement. But it is not the only freedom movement. There are many other things which are happening in India simultaneously, but then they took the center stage, and then historians have written more about them because they were commissioned to do so. So that till then it is right. Now, after Nehru becomes a prime minister, then it is not the same INC. It is no more the freedom fighting, movement which is there. Then it becomes the INC Private Limited. Then the INC Private Limited, they think that Nehru is as a brand name would not be as good as it could be the Gandhi, because Gandhi was the brand name. Like right now we can talk about that there is a brand called brand Modi, but that doesn't mean that BJP is brand Modi. It doesn't mean that Modi will survive till he survives and then he retires and then somebody else will come in. But that doesn't happen in INC, so that the brand has to be carried forward. And what he said is that if you don't put Nehru there, so in a way you are taking away the brand equity from the freedom fighting. So this is provocating to them because then you're hitting at the roots and you're cutting down the roots. So I don't know if this has happened, because of omission, or it has happened, somebody has done it purposely. But as I said earlier, that they have been doing it all the time. They have ignored thousands and thousands of freedom fighters who were not given their right place. So as I said, if you are giving this to them for the first time, so they should also get a punch on the nose sometime. They should know what the reality is, where they have gone wrong. Had they done it, had they given the proper place to Ambedkar ji or Veer Savarkar ji, then they would be doing right. So they have tasted their own, medicine. That is for sure. Now, if we can compare, I'm not taking away the greatness of Nehru. He could have been, he must have done blunders. He has done blunders. And as Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji said, that maybe after years to come, people will forget Nehru as a politician, but they cannot forget him as a poet or as a writer. So, which is true. He has his contribution, and so if he's there in one place or he's not there, it doesn't make him bigger or smaller. He just stays where he is. Now, what Shashi Tharoor has been saying, that to make, let's say, one line bigger, you don't draw a bigger line next to it so that it becomes smaller. You should do something so that, it becomes bigger all the same. That's fine, because we're comparing. Now, when we talk about the smaller line or the bigger line, it basically means you're comparing the two personalities or hundreds of personalities. But what did you do? You made the line smaller, you made the other line smaller, and you made one line bigger just because it helped your narrative to sell your private limited company. This, you have done it. Now, if somebody else does it, it pains you. So you should also get the taste of your own medicine. That is what we have done. Now, if we can compare Nehruji with Veer Savarkar, I mean, you can't compare Nehruji with Subhash Chandra Bose also. Forget Veer Savarkar ji. I think Subhash Bose was 1,000 times brilliant and more, and he won the elections in the Congress party. But then Gandhi did not like him, and they worked against it. So that democratical principles were not there in INC right at the beginning. What happened in case of when the voting was done, that who will become the prime minister of the first prime minister of India? He was the first prime minister. Yes, he was. How did he become? That's the question. So when the elections were done and they said who is the prime minister candidate, very few people know that it was Sardar Patel who got the the majority vote. Then it was again, Gandhiji goes to him and he says, no, Patel, for the sake of the nation and this, that, everything. And then you step down and you let Nehruji go ahead and do it. So Nehruji had this very good public relation thing with Mahatma Gandhi, with Viceroy Mountbatten and his wife. And he was also in the good books, or he tried to be in the good books of the royal family of England.
Elected versus appointed. That's
exactly
what it is.
Exactly, that's the word. Elected versus appointed. So he did not win any election. There were no general elections done because till 1950 there is no constitution and no elections have been done. So he was an appointed person. And after 47 also, when he is writing letters under the emblem of Government of India, he was still addressing to the King of England. And he doesn't say that it's an independent country. So these documents have been hidden all these years. So if you bring all those,
so many things.
So if you bring all those, documents in life, you will understand that there was no need for making a bigger line or a smaller line, as Shashi Tharoor is saying. You started off with that. You cut the importance of Subhash Bose or the importance of let's say Bababhai Ambedkar, or so that lifestyle, not the bigger than life statue which has been made now, it is provocation from your part. So once you provoke somebody, that was action. Now this is the time for the reaction. So once that action was there, now reaction is coming back. They can't handle the reaction. I mean, as I said, if there's no need why we should compare the two leaders. He cannot stand in front of so many leaders because they were stalwarts. Each and every personality who fought for, I've not seen a greater intellectual leader than Baba Sahib Ambedkar. What did they do to him? So, he even went to such an extent that he said, I'm going to change my religion. So I will not try to play one against the other. The pain is there. The pain to them is there that they never wanted to recognize this. And we know what happened at the cellular jail. He was not given any pens or papers or anything. He was writing with a stone.
I'll check from your take, Anita ji. He was not elected. Nehru was not the elected leader. He was basically originally and practically appointed.
Nominated. He was the nominated leader. He was not the elected leader. He always enjoyed the nomination. So and nominated by one and only one person, that is called Mahatma Gandhi. Actually, the Mahatma that has not given by the government of India. When Nehru said Mahatma, he became a Mahatma. The whole India is saying Mahatma. Father of nation, father of nation. There is no father and no nation has go to hell. So, yes, I am coming to your point.
Let me correct one thing. Mahatma and Gurudev. The Mahatma and Gurudev title was exchanged by the Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore. Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore said you are Mahatma, and Gandhi just give him the call him a Gurudev. So that is not by the government of India.
So who was Rabindranath Tagore? What was the position of Rabindranath Tagore in India? So please, I'm telling you, these are the defaults. I'm telling you, why Jawaharlal Nehru always enjoyed the nominated post of Congress or India also. First of all, we should understand why we are only talking about the Savarkar only. Why not Madan Mohan Malviya? Madan Mohan Malviya has started his career as a political career in 1886 only with Congress, and 3 times he was the elected president of Congress in 1909, in 1926, and in 1932. He was the elected president of Congress. And against Simon Commission, what kind of role he has led on that time, we all know. But after independence, I don't know, from our history books, Madan Mohan Malviya has gradually disappeared. I know Madan Mohan Malviya because at some extent my school days I have went through a very small passage, but I read that. But my children, my daughters, they don't know who was the Madan Mohan Malviya, because the hero should be only and one as per Shashi Tharoor. That is Jawaharlal Nehru and his family.
And Nehru.
Either Indira Gandhi or whoever. Now we should why we should compare Nehru with Savarkar? There is no comparison.
Okay, nice.
Savarkar was the freedom fighter. 30 times he put in jail for Kala Pani ki saja. And Nehru, 2 times he was the prisoner. Actually, he was the tourist on that jail. He has given all the facility. He was writing book. But if we will go through the Andaman Nicobar Kalapani jail, the Savarkar has not even provided with the pen and paper. Savarkar has written all his thoughts and books and slogans from stone on the stone. This was the fact about the Savarkar. He was put in that room where everyone was coming for the litters and all that. This was the Kala Pani for Savarkar. And he has not let down his willpower. Every time he was coming with the strongest willpower. It was Savarkar who has suggested Mahatma Gandhi that please stop this caste basis society. But Mahatma Gandhi has denied. Mahatma Gandhi has said, no, we cannot do this. From this, the pavitrata of the society will disappear. We can do that. We will not call them as Achut and Dalit. We will call them as Harijan. This is the best thing we can do with them.
Time is short now, and just
okay, go ahead.
You have more inputs on that. We'll take another way on the Savarkar and Nehru. We can next separate discussion on that. But this is a discussion with related to ICHR poster and just Savarkar point raised by the Congress. That's what we are discussing here. So I'll check the Vandana ji. How the just Congress? You don't think the Congress country Bharat will be very soon the Congress Mukt Bharat and should be? Vandana ji?
Actually, it is a time for the new generation and for the current generation to get the facts out. And this will be the biggest contribution of this government if they've been successfully able to do that, to be honest. We need to have the real heroes for our future generation. Heroes doesn't mean the Bollywood thing. Heroes, those who have done something, means we talk about Chandrasekhar Azad. We talk about Madan Lal Dhingra. There are only, you keep counting the names. So coming back to the question, some people, they work only for awards. For people, those who are real people, they work and their work gets recorded and they get rewards. So in the Congress party, what we're talking about, they have been always looking for name. If you just go, like you just mentioned about, because we are the people of the diaspora, mostly when we land up, I think if you go to Hyderabad, it is Rajiv Gandhi Airport. If you come to Delhi, it is Indira Gandhi Airport. If you go somewhere, it is this Phalana Airport. If you go this Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, iske alawa koi aur bande nahi hai kya? So this is what they have asked for it. Number one. Number two, my answer to the Shashi Tharoor and his gang in Chidambaram, they have to show their chatukarita to the madam. Uske yahan hajri lagana hai na, aaj kya karke aaye ho? Oh, I did this. See, ma'am, जैसे ही पोस्टर आया मैं शुरू हो गया. So that is what, because उनको अपनी नौकरी बचा के रखना है, spokesperson बैन कर रहना है. So that is what they are doing it. They are good for nothing, and that's what they are capable of.
Tiwari ji, the last take.
No, sir, this is a pen, modern pen, which the ink flows always. Let me say, with all due respect to Vandana ji and Anita ji, I do have some different point of view here. We cannot discredit totally, completely Jawaharlal Nehru and Gandhi from India's Bharat's freedom struggle at all. We cannot. If we try to do that, we are fooling ourselves. We should not try to do that. Now, validating and somebody where my objection comes here, where after Nehru or around that Nehru, okay, when this whole thing, and of course it was part of his inbuilt, where he was feeling superior to himself and he was thinking that, okay, now Bharat's Gaddi, Bharat's Pradhan Mantri, that is somewhere his ambition came. And that shows around that time when even Gandhi, when he has given suggestion to Mountbatten that let the Jinnah become prime minister, and Mountbatten has never ever taken this the Gandhi's proposal to Jinnah. Never. It is well published, well established. Let me complete, sir. Let me complete my thought. Then you come here.
Please.
Now, sir, this is historical.
2 minutes, sir. That's why I'm just.
2 minutes.
We are not denying Nehru and Gandhi. We are just remembering. Because of his act, we are suffering. So how can we forget Nehru and Gandhi? We cannot.
Anita, let me speak, please. Just please.
Okay.
Tiwari.
Okay. So that is number one. So where we can they can be discredited, because even still I'm not able to digest this very fact, and I do not know why the Indian media. See, I will differ always. Indian media means they are blabbering. This fact that in 1943, in his jail diary, Nehru has said that he was mentally ready to give Pakistan to Jinnah. 1943. So you cannot, the general or the fighter who has already made up his mind. So whatever happened, tragedy, all these things happen. That's a question of history. But our point here, when we are talking about, see, we have to, whenever we are going to, do the postmortem of history, things good, bad about anybody and everybody will come, and questions will come, questions will rise. My humble situation is that we should not just brush it away, anything and everything. Definitely, what Shashi Tharoor is not an ordinary person. He's a well-spoken person, well-read person. I will suggest to you, sir, one thing. While we are discussing, you should bring one of their, who has the supporting views too, so we can have more interesting.
So, sir, okay, sir. Okay, thank you. So nice.
No, sir, we will give him. We will not discredit them. We will credit Nehru for 1943, sir. We will credit. We will credit for 1943.
Rakesh ji.
Yes,
I want to say that you are giving them a full cream milk for years. You did not have a courtesy to give the others 2%, even the skim milk. So that is what the agony is. The agony is कि आपने खुद तो उनको मलाइयां खिलाई 75 साल तक, अरे दूसरे को बिना क्रीम का मिल्क तो दे देते, तब हमको इतनी जलन नहीं होती. अब जो आग लग रही है वो ये इसको इसीलिए परेशानी है, because they have been always getting one platter.
वंदना जी शुद्ध हिंदी में आ गई.
No. Full cream. Vandana ji, don't get confused, because don't trap in a Rakesh ji wala jal, because it's a discredit and credit. We are giving credit here for 62. We are giving credit for Jinnah. We are giving credit for the Musalman still in India. We are giving credit to Gandhi and Nehru. We are giving credit to Gandhi and Nehru.
Anita, sorry, please. We are running out of time. Please try to understand. I only just to correct the two facts narrated by the Honorable Rakesh Tiwari ji. Just one fact is that I'm going to wind up. That was whatever diary came revealed recently by the Nehru diary. I think that is a bundles of the false thoughts. One, I can prove it later on in another program. Number one. Number two, Gandhi never asked Mountbatten for the prime ministership. Gandhi requested, this is a matter of fact, I'm telling you, to Nehru, please stay for the 3 months, more than 3 months, Jinnah will not survive, then you will be the prime minister. But Nehru never just obeyed the whatever the good advice of Mahatma Gandhi. This is also a fact. So nice of you, all of you who just here came here, just expressed your view.
दो लोगों ने मिलके हिंदुस्तान की बैंड बजा दी.
Sir, please, Anita ji, whatever is that we have just facing and country we're facing, don't worry. But matters to correction, and let this government also just do some correction, not only the speaking, something to be on the earth. So sorry. So we are talking about the ICHR, just what Congress tried to make the controversy. They should not. And whatever they try to make the comparison with the Savarkar Nehru, there is no comparison, as Alok ji said, and Vandana ji said, Anita ji said, there is no comparison. There is so many unsung, and Tiwari said, unsung heroes in our countries. More than 7 lakh persons just sacrificed themselves for the country, for the independence. I think we have not more than 100 and 200 names. We just try to remember why and what for. This is total conspiracy of the Congress and led by the Nehru, who try to distort the history of the ancient India and our civilization. The coming history will not forget him. Not forgive him, and at any cost. This man. I am just discussion the Savarkar, Nehru, and others. Our history was so rich history and cultural history, that the history of the cultural nationalism we should not forget. So thank you. Thanks to all inputs. Whatever facts are there, that is created by the media and some of the misinformation. And the Nehru family is the expert of the spreading the misinformation and false history. How the ICHR run by the sometimes Romila Thapar and Irfan Abi. This is a matter of facts also. So this is so nice of you just to participate in the program. And later on, we'll also discuss on this and how the country is going on, how and just this country will go accordingly with the good governance and better governance in this new leadership. We'll see. We have to see just for the redefine the new India. Thank you very much, and just see and subscribe and watch the Global Governance News TV for the sake of the global nationalism, and just you are the global Indian. So nice of you, and salute you all for the country. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.